can you hold on for a sec?
Yeah.
I got breaking news. We have the results of the Aaron Rodgers story.
Oh.
Okay. So Paulie knows, we don't know. Now, does he stay in Green Bay or does he go? And if he goes, where does he go?
He's staying.
Okay.
If I'm wrong and he's going, it's Pittsburgh.
Okay. I've said all along, if he left, it was going to be Denver. And I thought the longer this went on, he was going to leave. Paulie, give us the information here. Aaron Rodgers is?
According to Ian Rappaport of NFL Network, the Packers and MVP Aaron Rodgers have agreed in terms on a 4-year, $200 million deal that makes him the highest paid player in NFL history, sources say.
Wow.
He gets a whopping $153 million guaranteed, and his cap number actually goes down. 4 years, $200 million.
Wow.
Such a joke. The whole thing.
Why is it a joke?
Because it really was always, the whole thing was about money. This whole dance, and I'm gonna go host Jeopardy, and I'm on a self-actualization, and they got rid of Kumaru, and they don't respect me. And I miss Alan Lazard over the middle, so I lose to Jimmy Garoppolo at home, scoring 7 points. The whole thing was so he can make $50 million. That's the whole thing. We've gone through all this nonsense. Oh, I want to live in Denver. I want to go to the Titans. It's so he can make $50 million. Give me a break. And by the way, this is what I don't understand. And I'm all for athletes making a ton of money. I don't think athletes are overpaid, but I do think in a hard cap sport that you have to do this math. I would have thought that if a genie went to Aaron Rodgers 18 months ago and said, will you take $10 million out of your bank account and I will change the result of that Seattle NFC Championship game where you guys botched the onside kick. You go to that Super Bowl, you beat Tom Brady, you have 2 rings. $10 million for that. I think he would have said yes. He's now telling me no. In fact, I will make it harder to win the next one because the team's going to be worse. And then when they're not as good and he's not as good in the playoffs as he is in the regular season, again, what we're going to hear is, I don't have enough talent around me. I need more help. But you $50 million? $50 million. Okay.
What else do you have, Paulie?
A little more from Ian Rappaport. According to his sources, Rodgers was down to retirement, the Packers, or the Broncos before the decision was made.
Okay.
No offense, Broncos.
I feel bad for the Broncos because they geared up for this. And, he'll have some things to say, I'm sure, on Pat McAfee's show later today. But I know when Von Miller left, they wanted to make sure they got a second-round pick. They were going to load up those picks to go to Green Bay. Yes, Eden.
He doesn't.
Sorry to interrupt, but according to Pat McAfee, news of the 4-year, according to Pat McAfee's sources, who knows what they could be, news of a 4-year, $200 million deal is not accurate.
Oh, okay.
So I guess this story's not over.
Is he staying? Is that accurate? That's all I care about.
Yes, he is staying with the Packers.
I don't care about the money.
Cap-friendly deal.
Yeah, and I'm going to guess his source is Rodgers. So,
First of all, how does McAfee's done a great job. There's no shade. But how does McAfee not break this?
I thought he was going to.
If you were signing a new deal and Paulie doesn't break it, bad job, Paulie.
Yeah.
That is what in the world? Okay, this is just so maddening. The whole thing. And listen, you and I are both in the money and attention business. I get it. I like attention. I like money. I'm not. So I feel like it's a little glass houses thing I'm doing here. But the whole thing feels fraudulent. The whole thing feels like he was squeezing them for dollars. That he wasn't going to Denver. He doesn't want to face Mahomes twice a year. The guy, best I can tell, he skipped this last Chiefs game out of fear of Mahomes. People said, hey, COVID reasons. I just think he didn't want Mahomes to crush him.
You know what? We're in the rooting business. We root for change. We root for stories that we can talk about. And I think the media rooted for stories. They rooted for Tennessee. Oh, my God, Pittsburgh. Did you hear Mike Tomlin, what he said about Rodgers? Denver, it felt like that. Whereas staying in Green Bay, that doesn't change much. It's like, okay, Aaron Rodgers stays there.
Yes, correct. And I think the Tomlin thing would have been super interesting. And I think seeing him in the same division as Mahomes and Herbert would have been super interesting. I agree with that. We root for interesting and to be right.
Yeah.
Like that's what we root for.
Yeah.
But the other part of it is this wasn't out of whole cloth. He started this whole thing on draft day last year. The whole thing.
Well, that was Schefter. Schefter started this on draft day because that wasn't a story on draft day because it felt like that was imminent that he was going to be traded. And then asking Schefter about that on my show, I said, that you didn't have any breaking news that day. And he said it was just a compilation of things.
But it wasn't. My point is this wasn't a media creation. The frustration was real. The flirting with retirement, the thinking he can go host Jeopardy, all that was real. And then all of I'm the most interesting man in the world because I read one Ayn Rand book. All that happened. And then the bizarre Instagram post that's because he was on a bee pollen cleanse. That happened. All of it happened. And the end result is, I was never leaving, but I got the most money any player's ever gotten. Good for you.